So something pretty major happened in the world of infectious diseases in 2015. Tuberculosis actually surpassed HIV as the deadliest disease caused by a single organism, killing more than 1.5 million people that year. Now, part of the reason this disease is so prevalent is the fact that diagnosing it is not a trivial task, especially in children. For example, if I were sick and I had symptoms of tuberculosis, I would go to the hospital, and the first thing they would do is they would do an immune system test. And so that just tells them if I have been exposed to the disease-causing bacteria. It doesn't tell them if I'm actually sick. So if that's positive, I'll go and I'll get a chest x-ray to see if there are spots on my lungs that look like tuberculosis. If there are, then I'll go somewhere else and I'll cough up some phlegm and they'll do a test to see if there's bacteria there. So the problem with this is that takes 6 weeks to get results back. And that's 6 weeks that I or a sick child could be getting treated for the disease. Now, so even if I do have tuberculosis, it's possible that I might not get a positive diagnosis back. There are a small fraction of cases that are actually diagnosed by autopsy, meaning that some of these patients literally have to die before we can tell them that they've had tuberculosis, and that's just not acceptable. So here at the Biomedical Optics Lab at Texas A&M University, we are working on an optical diagnostic tool to help detect tuberculosis. Now what this means is we just use light to sense living bacteria in a living organism. And so the tool is an endoscope, and that endoscope goes down into the trachea and illuminates the lung. We also have a chemical that's kind of like a contrast agent that likes to stay close to the bacteria. And so if the bacteria is there, the contrast agent is like, hey, I'm here. And so if you shine a light on it, it glows. So we can put a camera outside the body and see how much it glows. And so using this technique, we've been able to increase our sensitivity by more than 100 times. So meaning that before we had to have at least 10,000 bacteria in the lung to be able to detect tuberculosis, and now we need somewhere between 100 and 1,000. And that's great, right? But it's still not good enough. Tuberculosis is infectious at 1 to 10 bacteria, so we're still more than a factor of 10 off. And so what I'm doing currently is I'm simulating the bacterial infection and the optical device to see what kinds of changes we can make that optical device. And while these changes haven't been implemented yet, I anticipate that when I do implement them, they will further increase the sensitivity of the device and help show that this tool can be translated from the lab to the clinic to help eradicate tuberculosis. Thank you.